Gentlemen, my name is Todd Standing. I'm the man who takes people out in the field and has them either live interact with or come within 40 yards of a Sasquatch on a regular basis. So I'm actually, just let me set up my camera here because we're in my dungeon, as my colleague calls it. Oh my God, this thing just won't work. So we're gonna have to get close. We literally, so this is my new friend and new colleague, Expeditioner Ross. Ugh. Ross is from Los Angeles, California. He's going to be on a Sasquatch Sunday video in 2 weeks approximately because he just came back on expedition. And what I'd like to do today in today's show is talk about expeditions. Hello, Chad. Hello, everybody. So expedition talk. So I'm not gonna have too many spoilers because hey, from Portugal, that's cool, man. That's far. I don't think I ever had anybody from Portugal. All over the world. So this is Canada versus USA today. Oh, we're gonna get at each other. we had a great expedition. What do you think of our expedition?
It was very good.
Yeah. So this is the most talented city boy I have ever seen. This is the stuff of legends, this man. How many tracks did you find in one day? Sasquatch tracks.
I think it was 4.
You think?
Yeah.
Don't you remember going?
Yeah, it was 4.
Hey, yo, Ross, how many tracks did you find today? You go, 4. So he's got an inch on me. He is 6'4". He's got a couple pounds on me. He's about 225, I think.
Yeah.
I'm about 215 right now. So, and he, like, literally your whole life is city. You have no wilderness, no camping experience.
The camping experience I have is suburban camping. It's not anything like what we did.
And what would you? So if somebody that has no idea, what would you say we did to other city people out there?
You know, hike miles up into the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. What was it? The 5th or 6th day, I asked Todd to go somewhere he's never gone, and
right.
So we went there, and it was It was hell. It was like a jungle gym on the side of a mountain because the side of the mountain had burned and fallen and overgrown, and you couldn't see it. You just couldn't see it. So you get up there and it looks fine, and you're standing in it, and it's knee high, waist high, deadfall from a fire, and we were hiking around that for 5 hours.
Why did you? So why were you motivated to take me somewhere I'd never been before? What was the purpose of that?
Well, the skepticism, you know, if someone's taking you out on an expedition and it's a research area, which is totally legitimate. You're going to be surveying the area continuously. In my mind, if you were going to try and fake somebody, you're going to try and keep them in a controlled area. And I was trying to break away from that just to see, and we did. Because
it's ridiculous finding 4 tracks. So when you found 4 tracks, how do you think you did it?
My profession, I'm pretty detail orientated. I have to pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
If I fail on details, it can cost the company thousands of dollars and cost productions a lot of money and delays. So I have to be on my ball when it comes to detail.
Right.
So I was looking at the ground a lot, and I've watched a lot of Todd's videos and other people's videos, and I kind of taught myself in a very, very vague, uneducated way what to look for, what I thought I needed to look for, and I just looked for it while I was there.
Yeah. And you found some stuff that you thought was a track that wasn't?
Yeah.
There were learning lessons.
Anytime I thought I saw something, I would call Todd over.
Yeah.
And I didn't follow him on trails. He would walk us down the trail. I'm like, cool, I'm going over here. Yeah. And I'd go 20 yards in. And I'd walk alongside them looking for stuff while they were on the trail. Yeah. And I did that everywhere. I didn't follow him at all.
Yeah, that's true. So we're talking, ladies and gentlemen, like bush, like wilderness, like the trails he's talking about have been abandoned for over a decade, abandoned, like just everything's abandoned. He's walking off trail, finding his own tree breaks, finding his own tracks. So amazing experience. The reason he was able to find so many tracks is literally if I'm correct. So, and he had to learn about tree breaks. That was kind of the real big thing about this expedition, was learning about tree breaks, discovering the truth of them. And even when he took me off into an area where he'd never been before, he wanted to see Are there tree breaks where Todd's never been before? Are there, and what would they mean, and how would they? And I tell you, the word fortuitous, look it up. Jeff Meldrum taught me that word. The way things fell into place, it's just exceptionally fortuitous. He found breaks. He found breaks that he needed to find, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. And even like it's Canada, United States, and Australia. I loved it. We're ice bathing. We're not versing each other. We're just having fun. But you know, Australians crazy, amazing.
crazy.
He was this crazy dude who was just amazing. We loved him. I mean, we got literally we're in freezing cold glacier water.
He jumps in.
We're both like, and this Aussie just goes boosh right in the water and splashes us. And what did you say? What did you say?
Aussies are crazy.
Yeah, Aussies are effing crazy, right? And I'm like, dude, like right in head first, glacial water. I mean, you got to be a beast to do that. This water is freaking godlessly beautiful and cold.
Ice water.
And these guys were ice basting it tough. I'm sorry, Texas. These guys matched you. Like the Texas boys were outstanding. And in Australia and USA, Los Angeles City Boy USA matched the Texas boys, which I just have never heard of. So amazing. But do you believe it was real wilderness? Did you see any wildlife out there, Ross?
As we were coming into the campsite, we spotted 3 bears.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 cinnamon black bears and a cub. And they were the first day, they were, I would say, 75 yards to 100 yards away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started moving away further.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my first day we saw a bear.
Day 1.
3 bears.
Yeah. So we just had little interactions. 4 tracks, 3 bears. How many tree breaks you think you saw, Ross?
I can't count.
Yeah, it's just right through the roof. So, and again, the way it falls out, we can even talk about. So when he chose a spot for us to go in to this down this mountainside, which ended up being a total disaster because it was old burnout. So
We didn't know.
It was just so hard to get through. And I didn't know because I'd never been there before. So we ground through it. We saw some bear signs. He found some breaks over by where the elk were, which is very significant to me. Out in the middle of nowhere where there was really no need for breaks, we saw what I'm actually calling from now on. This is history. Ross breaks. Because he noticed something that I've been noticing for years. You want to tell us about that? What you noticed? What makes a Ross break?
Well, I noticed within the early young poplar trees, they consistently not all over the place, in certain areas, in the place we went where there was nobody, I was noticing the same branch on these trees, always the same branch in the same place and I don't mean everyone was identical. I just mean these trees all grow very much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The branches separate, and
if these were the 3 branches, which one would be broken?
they always break the tallest one in the middle.
The tallest one in the middle.
Yeah.
And you know how significant that is. Please understand how significant that is. Because the tallest one in the middle is broken and the other 2 are undamaged.
Yeah.
Consistently. That can't happen in nature.
And the trees are still alive for the most part.
Right? Still living, still alive. So I'm gonna call those Ross breaks. That was a real pattern I've noticed for years. No one's ever talked about it. He discussed it at length. It's his attention to detail. I mean, freaking day 1, we stopped at this. There's one particular Sasquatch that breaks 4-inch trees that are very thick fir trees, breaks them towards the trail. You saw 2 up at the elk trail.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you there'd be a line of them all the way down to the road. And at that incredible break, he found. Did you even count that track as your 4?
I think it was number 4.
Yeah,
Number 3 or 4.
Yeah, so there was a track on the side of the hill that he recognized and acknowledged.
Oh,
and,
no, that was my first one.
Yeah, but did you count that amongst your 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was a mud track.
Right. So really, really impressive track right beside. What was? I mean, did you have any doubt at this point that wasn't a tree break from a Sasquatch?
I was very skeptical in the beginning, but what happened is the more we hiked around, and then we went up to Strawberry Mountain, which was my choice, and went down this terrible hill, and then all the way back up, which was doubly terrible. When we made it to the top, I found 2 breaks that he had no idea about. He walked right under one of them.
I walked right underneath one.
And Adam.
Right. He stopped and went, "You guys just walked under a tree break."
They walked under it. It was about 8 feet. And then we turned around looking like, oh, wow. And then I looked to the right, and there was another break, and they were both pointing towards the trail. 2 different kinds of trees. It was a lodgepole pine and a fir.
Right. He's so you see this and how old were they? Watch this.
Probably like because they were both redding,
Mhm.
like
How
2 to
old?
3 years.
Look at this
Probably.
guy. Look at this guy. Like he's just
I'm
learning.
listening to him.
It's so amazing. Like by the end of the expedition, he's even literally. So we had a Sasquatch, a smaller Sasquatch, come around, and oh my God, guys, you're gonna watch the Sasquatch Sunday video in a couple weeks. Like, damn, what we found right up to the last minutes that we were there, the stuff we were finding, the evidence that was so significant. And I'm looking at these guys, and they can't be fooled. They're like, that's 2 days old. This is 2 days old. They're smelling the trees. They're looking at the age. They're out there boots deep in the wilderness with these trees, knowing how they aged over the last 2 days. A busted tree over, like so much evidence. It was so amazing. Everything just fell into place, and so fortuitous the way everything just came together. The way literally, I on this expedition, I found 1/3 of the evidence, guys. Kind of the when there needed to be a next level, like the berry crush. You saw me. I went crazy for that,
Hmm.
and I went to the ground and I found those imprints, and then I found a crushed berry that was just
Stepped on right next to a break.
right on, like, and something step like it's
Two-
obviously a
A
Sasquatch.
2-day-old break happened
Right?
while we were there. Yeah.
Like, and that's 5 meters away from where Ashley was sleeping, 10 meters away from where we were sleeping. Ashley having heard a sound that like everything just adds up. It was just so fantastic. I'm so happy about it. It's such a wonderful learning lesson. And let's get to some questions because I bet there's a whole bunch. Washington State, hello, Brad Knight. Aloha, Hawaii. Hi from Erie. Hello, Brian. Hey, Kyle. Oh my God. So Kyle's coming out next month. Very excited. So, oh man, Kyle, the stuff I'm going to be able to show you that we learned about this new Sasquatch. Cheetown boy living in San Antonio, Texas. How you doing, Todd? We are excellent. Measuring contest? What does that mean? Oh, because I said he was 6'3" and I'm 6'3" and he's 6'4". Waves from Bears Paw Mountains in Montana. We just went past Bears Paw Indian Reserve. I'd love to come out on your expeditions on Vancouver Island. I don't do Vancouver Island very much, but I'm going to start doing it. Hey, NWTV, big city, bye now, Edmonton, Alberta. I know Edmonton, Alberta. Great work. Thank you, guys. Hello from the beginning of the Appalachians. Hello. Good evening. Thank you. Northwest Olympics. How you doing? James Penner. No, Pritchard, sorry. How much food would a Bigfoot have to eat each day? A deer, a fish, berries, big animals need a lot to survive. Well, let me ask my colleague here. Do you think you would be able to find after the whitetail buck you bumped into, right? How many deer did you bump into?
We almost ran into a buck.
How much? It even. Let me ask you this: up on Strawberry Mountain, do you believe you could find enough sustenance in strawberries in a day?
I mean, yeah.
And do you think
I could
there's
feed myself on that mountain on dandelion and strawberry alone?
right? And this is a freaking. This man knows. He knew shit when he came out here. Now he's trained. He literally could tell you he could survive on Strawberry Mountain with the two pieces of food that he knows. So he'd have greens with dandelions, he'd have strawberries, and sure as hell, you'd bump into a grouse.
Yeah,
Think
you just
he'd get-
grab them.
Literally,
I did.
he actually put his hands on a hand grouse. He touched on a pine grouse,
I jumped up into a tree and I just went up to the tree and I grabbed it.
right? And every day he could get himself a pine grouse. He could get himself some strawberries. He could have dandelion, and that's right now. And then next is the bearberries, and then next is the rose hips with the low bush. I mean, we just, as long as you know, and there's more stuff to forage. There's more greens to forage. There's wild lettuces. There's roots. Those big long. They're called like a skunk thing. They have actually big balls of the
Or
roots.
tubers.
Yeah, tubers. There's grubbers. There's just so much stuff out there. Like
I mean, yeah, I could tear apart wood and get grubs if I
Right,
wanted
right.
to. Just
Shoots,
like
there's-
the bears.
there's shoots off of these berry plants. The berries are poisonous, but I could show you the shoots that are totally edible to eat. There's every day it was a learning lesson in survival. So his answer is, could you survive out there? Well, what I taught you in 1 week, could you survive out there day to day?
Yeah, it'd be hard, but you could.
Yeah.
There's plenty of water. Even if you only had dandelion and water, you could survive.
Dandelion, strawberries, and grouse. I mean, come on.
You're gonna run into meat. We almost did.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Like, and then if you have any ability, can you imagine if all you had was a weapon available? Let's say you had a gun. So I put you out there with a gun. You think you could have got yourself a deer a week?
Absolutely.
Easy, like no problem. Like,
Or bear.
right? And bears are edible. Man, he could have eaten bears, bear cubs. We had the most gorgeous,
First day we could have had 150 pounds of meat.
right?
Just
No
that's one
problem.
day.
No problem. I mean, so now it's got dandelions, deer, pine grouse, strawberries, and just on and on and on. So dumbasses go up there and talk about this place being a veritable desert, and he doesn't think so.
No.
And he was there for actually this guy got an 8-day expedition out of me. So we're dirty and sweaty, and it was amazing. So that's your answer. Hey, isn't that a good question? I love this live stuff. So please subscribe. Thank you, Andy, for doing this. So and with this, so what we were saying too, whoops, to sum that up a little bit is if we could manage to survive. I mean, can you imagine if I taught you for a year, Ross? How easy would it be?
I'd move.
It'd be honest
I'd
to
leave
God.
the city and I would just do that.
Honest to God, y'all, it would be a cakewalk. Like 1 year of training, and this guy would survive. If the whole world goes to hell, anybody who knows Todd, standing his colleagues with me, comes out in the bush, and we're having deer, pine grouse, elk, the moose. You haven't even seen all that stuff.
Bush chook.
Bush chook, right? So our Australian friend calls chickens chooks because they go chook 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 chook, right? So he calls them sometimes we call them prairie chickens. And he said it's better to call them bush chooks.
Bush chook.
So and he had baby bush chooks. I mean, you saw at the end when we were going in the bush, there was one a day, pretty much.
We spotted 3 grouse and 4 babies in 2 days.
A grouse is a meal, dude. Like that's imagine having one chicken.
Yeah.
So you got chicken, you got enough strawberries to fill your belly. He's got the
Have a
dandelion
nice chicken
leaves.
salad.
Right. So, and again, can I stress enough? 1 bloody week, guys. So the Sasquatch have tremendous abundance out there. I absolutely know it. And the lessons that he helped me learn and taught me were absolutely amazing. I have some pics. Juwan, if you have pics, send them to discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com. We'd love to see them. Todd for president. Oh my God. Well, Prime Minister of Canada, maybe someday. After the discovery is done, I'll go and fix this country a little bit, make it more agreeable. I always look forward to your videos. Have you guys ever scouted out an area where Albert Ostman had an expedition? Well, no, Albert Ostman was in British Columbia, but I'll tell you the Sasquatch that we dealt with, are the same. They're 400 miles away from where Albert Ostman had his stuff. So, and I've done some expeditions a lot around golden ears, so I would have been like 100 miles from Albert Ostman. But the behaviors that I'm seeing all across British Columbia and Alberta, Montana, Washington State, it's just the same species doing the same breaks for the same reason. Everything. Can you imagine like going to Washington State and seeing breaks all along the trails just like you've seen? Go to Alabama, the Cheehaw Forest. And that's I'd take this guy for a hike on the Cheehaw. He'd lose his freaking mind. Right where all the Sasquatch sightings are, there's these beautiful breaks out of one kind of tree. And it's a style, man. And it's a height and a thickness. It's just like, you go, damn. Like the Sasquatch are doing this all across North America.
It's consistent.
And it's amazing. And he has to learn that stuff and see that stuff. And he will. And he's going to go, he's Oregon. So Oregon he's from Los Angeles, but he's got serious roots and connections in Oregon. And because of him, it's extremely likely I'm going to Oregon this year. So bigfootencounter@gmail.com, or all you Oregonites, what would you call them?
Oregonians?
Oregonians? That sounds pretty crazy.
Y'all are aliens.
Yeah. Hey, little sprouts, everybody's talking. Would you go out deep into the woods for 2 weeks again? 2 weeks? No, not 2 weeks. Like 10 days is pushing it, guys. I just did 8. And when you go, it's pretty, like we go deep. Wouldn't you call that deep?
Yeah.
Like he told me when he came out, he says he'd never been on a trail where there wasn't lots of people. So the only one trail we saw one person, he was a trail cleaning guy. He was like cutting it open. So we saw one man on one trail on all the trails and all the places I took him. So I think you got your money's worth quite well.
Oh, yeah.
So only a few ads. Sorry. It makes sense that he found them along the trail in Bigfoot. I don't get that Alaskan. Good job, Andy. Super fortuitous. Oh, super fortuitous. Cool. And it is just fortuitous that the things that you found, the way that we found them. That's why I talk about being honest. Like I honestly heard a Sasquatch that night. I honestly got you guys up, And then honestly, the next day you found the breaks, and then we found more and more.
Todd's intense, but he's not a liar.
So
It's true. I'm not a fan of people who are all into the bait and switch, and Todd does everything but that.
mhm. And it's so like there's a break that who I think you found it today. So it was the one break that was obvious and the one that was not so obvious.
Mhm.
I never even looked to see that.
They were right next to each other.
You know, and it's like it's this camo break that's done, but it was so important that we found that break. It was huge because then you found a partial track in it that was approximately 8 inches. And then 2 hours later, we found an 8 inch right 5 yards from where Ashley was sleeping.
And then we had a little rain run through, so the topsoil would have been a little mushy.
Yeah.
And that's about what it was. It was like
Right.
a heel imprint.
Man,
A little mush.
See, that's what he's getting it. He remembers we had a rainfall, and then that same just a quick bit, but there was a mushy heel print
Mhm.
from a small Sasquatch. These are not huge breaks, and no apples were taken. And I'll tell you something too, guys. I make predictions, and I'm right a lot of the time. Man, I kept saying the apples were gone, the apples this, and they weren't. And it was a lesson, and I was upset. And when you see me out there, I mean, these expeditions are so important to me. You see me break down and get a little, I'm unhappy, and it breaks my heart that we put apples there. There's a Sasquatch there. You didn't touch him, but there's reasons and there's lessons, and I think we figured it out really well. I think the end consensus was we had a smaller Sasquatch, so an 8-year-old. So 8-year-old Sasquatch is going to be about under 200 pounds. He's going to be about 5 feet tall. And I think he may have, if he wasn't alone, he only had one other individual with him. All the evidence shows he was alone. And that well-disciplined, awesome little 8-year-old, under 5 foot tall Sasquatch was afraid to go and grab those apples by himself. And I think that's what we were seeing. And that's no animal could do that, guys. No bear, no animal is going to resist knowing apples are there and not go and take them. And this little dude, I mean, if he was there, he knew the apples were there. I mean, we heard a big crash, which I know was a Sasquatch, over behind the apples, almost like saying, the apples are over here, but I'm not going to take them.
Yeah, right.
That's a disciplined, intelligent mind. Like in a place, well, and he's got his abundance. He picked his berries. He ate his dandelion leaves. I'll tell you, man, if you were a Sasquatch and you were born and raised with individuals that had tens of thousands of years of experience on this, can you even imagine the abundance you would see every day?
A lot.
It would be ridiculous. So and there's so much abundance out there, guys. It's such a place of wonder and abundance. And a Sasquatch has, man, they could that deer, a Sasquatch could run that deer down, break his neck, and eat him.
Right.
So, like the abundance, it's ridiculous and amazing. So I love it. Imagine the underground caves that connect all the continents and islands. Well, what I know is, so Ross saw glaciers coming right out of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And these have been flowing for 8,000 years. So there's huge, enormous caverns and caves in these mountains that are unexplored and opening up and getting bigger every day. I mean, all those rivers, all that ice melting. I mean, hundreds of thousands of liters a minute. Melting.
Water.
Beautiful.
Very, very cold.
Delicious though, right?
Yeah, we drink right from the glacial water.
Everybody does that now. That comes out with me. Nobody. How do you feel after drinking glacier water?
It's better than city water.
Hello, Todd. Can you please confirm once and for all if you faked your Sasquatch photos? They're real. Once and for all, for the 10,000th time, every single photograph and video I have filmed is absolutely authentic and real. Don't take my word for it. Come out with me and let's see what happens. Right? And you can imagine, Ross, I've been out here, like, it's on record. I was out here in 2008. It's 2022. It's on record. I mean, you saw the evidence of old campsites of mine with old tins.
Yeah.
I've been going out there for, like, Call Out Search and Rescue did a show with me in 2010. So even arguably, let's say just 2009, I started there. I've been going out there for 13 years. I've spent hundreds of days. I mean, you could see that in I Know Here, I Know There, I've been up there. You could see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've taken out the best in the world out into radium. Nobody ever questions my guide skills. When I say there's something there over the mountain, and when I say there's an ocean of strawberries, and we go up there, and what's there?
Strawberries.
An ocean of strawberries, right?
Handfuls and handfuls and handfuls. You could spend hours there and get fat on strawberries.
Really, you could. And I have pictures of these guys with big handfuls of strawberries they collected in like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
whole handful of strawberries, little tiny itty bitty beautiful strawberries that are rich in nutrients and vitamins and beautiful naturally occurring sugars. Strawberries that fight to survive versus all these plants. They're so powerful and just so much of it. So hello, you two. Hello, Gina. He didn't hear a boom, unfortunately. I'd like to walk 1 week deep and then out the next. Good idea. No problem, newbies. Need to see that info. With all your contract, why don't they, with all your contact, I mean, you mean Julie, why, what to be seen so they can be protected? Why don't they want to be seen? Oh, okay. With all your contact, why don't they want to be seen so they can be protected? Well, because they're afraid of people and they damn well should be. I mean, the crazy, like every time we found something like we found barbed wire up in a beautiful park up on a hill. How stupid is that barbed wire? Like, what do you think of the barbed wire there?
I don't know why it was there.
Like, what kind of idiot would put that's going to kill rabbits? That's going to kill bighorn sheep. Are going to get
really
caught.
sharp too.
Yeah, there's some idiot human. So every time we come across something, you go, "What kind of stupidity? Like, what kind of moron would do something like this?" And the answer is humans are crazy. You know, we had these city folk come in and park at an angle and take up 3 spaces. You know, and I go to these guys, there's another dumbass, you know, stupid. There's only 4 spots to park your vehicle. He's taking up, you know, 2.5. We have to squeeze in beside him. Even the car, a Nissan Murano with those all-season tires, like up these roads that are just like rocks and boulders and people are crazy. They do crazy, stupid shit. Like people go past these tree breaks like crazy, Ross, and think nothing of them. Nothing of them. Like people are ignorant and people walk around. It's almost like a nightmare. We walk around like zombies, staring at phones, doing the craziest shit. I worked search and rescue. I understand deer, elk, moose. I understand these animals. Human beings, before they freeze to death, rip off all their clothes because they think they're burning hot. You know, like the crazy stuff that people do. Animals do nothing like that. They're reasonable, intelligent, logical. Everything they do makes sense. People are crazy, like absolutely crazy. And that's why. I mean, we rip and rape the forest, guys. Like we'll come through there, like they think they call it sustainable logging. They literally will rape the forest, come back when they're trees, rape it again, because trees fall and make soil. And human beings don't seem to understand this, or loggers don't really give a shit. Rape it, pillage it. I'm literally taking this guy out in the hell of woods, and he barely saw. I had to go, hey, look, this is old growth forest. Isn't it amazing? Because we didn't see much of it, because they log everything. They don't give a shit. They don't leave nothing. Look at beautiful Vancouver Island. 99% of it's all logged. Our children will never see 300-year-old trees. My children will probably never see 200-year-old trees. It's that crazy, and we live in this huge, amazing country like this. So people are crazy, and ask him what he thinks about it. What do you think about people?
I don't like them too much.
You know, so
that's why I went out to the middle of the forest with you.
Yeah, I went to do a bit of video for a contest with Tourism Nova Scotia, and a nice early spring day. It changed my life. I went to do a bit. When you did that video, did you see something Sasquatch? If you did, you know, congratulations. Are leprechauns real? I know nothing about leprechauns. I know nothing about UFOs. I've made it very clear with these guys. You might call me a paranormal researcher, but I do Sasquatch. I don't do Loch Ness. I don't care about UFOs. This is my job. I study Sasquatch like biologists study bears or deer. You can see that, couldn't you? Lots of folks say they've seen leprechauns, and that's cool. I just don't know anything about it. Lots of people say they see UFOs. Lots of people say they see little people. And I've seen tracks from what must be little people in the wilderness in Canada. So they're likely real, but I don't know anything about them other than any human being that walks along and sees tracks in the middle of nowhere and realizes that that's very significant. If they witness what happened to natives, why would they ever want to be seen? Thank you, Alaskan Nakut. Right? Human beings, I guess white people, colonists, annihilated the bison so the natives wouldn't have food anymore. 400 million bison gone, guys. So in America, we call them midgets. That's cool. Thank you, Jill. Please subscribe again. Thank you, Andy. If they think their reason why we are afraid of the dark and if you think there are the reason we are afraid of the dark and tell stories about monsters we used to fight, then we started just avoiding each other. They own the night, we own the day. And that's what, well, I'll tell you this, that young Sasquatch, he didn't come around at the day that we saw, unless there was that one sound that was kind of crazy that we heard. That was even getting pretty dark, right?
Yeah, it was early evening
But when do you think those tree breaks were made?
while we were sleeping.
Yeah, and I agree. So Wolfgang, hello, Darren. Hey, brother, help as well. We'll be the, we'll be there the year for the discovery. So Darren is the guy who saw a Sasquatch while taking a pee.
Oh, awesome.
So I showed you that spot. Little people talking about little goblins can be found near bloody. Okay, and I don't. But you know what, Ryan? Like, cool, you find goblins. I'm not interested. I won't be going there. I have no interest in goblins any more than Loch Ness, any more than UFOs. I do Sasquatch. Period. That's it. I'm pretty good at it, and I'm gonna keep it up. And I have no time to be doing anything else. AKA little people. So we're talking about little people. So you're still talking about little people. Again, I don't know anything about them. Show me Sasquatch. Whoop. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Most primitive tribes are smaller people. Thank you. Hey, maintenance worker. Are you that maintenance worker? Is that Albert from Nia Bay? Would you be interested in coming to Washington one year?
Yeah.
Hi,
Going to
Todd.
Washington.
Hi, Todd. Jen from the North Woods of Wisconsin. Hello, Jennifer. If you have something about Sasquatch going on, or anybody does, it's bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Please send us an email. We need to head to Sunshine Coast. So man, I saw some great tracks and tree breaks on the Sunshine Coast, in particular areas only. So, and that's what's really cool too is, as we were driving back on the highway, how many tree breaks did you see?
None.
Right? And it's in Sasquatch habitat. They get crazy and they're impressive. So Ryan says, I've tried telling my encounter, but people won't believe it. So I tell them where to go and when. Well, sorry to hear you're having difficulty, Ryan. It's something we all face. I literally, even Ryan, honest to God. So this is a new colleague, new friend of mine. If you think that him or Australia, which is Adam, came out on this expedition and we're all like, Adam was even worse for tree breaks. Adam literally told us, I think it was like last day. I wasn't convinced of him, and now
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel it. These guys don't come out here and kiss my ass. Quite the opposite. They come out here and go, hey, I think your footage is amazing. They have lots of compliments, but they're skeptical. Man, it's like almost nobody comes out here butt kissing. Everybody's skeptical. Everybody wants to see it. Everybody needs the evidence. And from people that have had good success, like his expedition, to people that have seen a Sasquatch, they all go home with a level of skepticism. I guarantee you, he's going to call me in a month or two. We're going to chit chat and catch up after the expedition's over this year. And he's going to have new feelings and new thoughts. And I promise you, it's going to be to a new level of acceptance of the reality of this species. Because isn't this overwhelming?
Yeah, it was a bit much to take in.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if you saw a Sasquatch, and all the doubts and things going through your head.
That would have been a whole nother thing.
Right? So, but
because that noise we heard when we were looking at that grouse.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the air.
No.
It
down low.
We had crows, but the crows were clucking away from us. And this was a very
chimpanzee kind of
very
sound.
Strong, like,
yeah.
And it happened. It was loud and quick, and we were all talking to each other. And when it happened, we were like, "Did you hear that?"
That was loud. Yeah.
And my heckles came up.
Both of us were like
time.
Goosebumps.
It wasn't a sound from any of the animals. The bear doesn't make that sound.
Nope.
The grouse don't make that sound.
Nope.
The deer don't make that sound.
Definitely not.
The crows weren't making that sound. It hit all three of us at the same time. We all heard it at the same volume, and it was in the forest in front of us.
It's not a weasel. It's not a fox. It's not a lynx. It was very a strong sound, and man, even at this point, I'm actually going to say that was like 20% likely that was our Sasquatch. The other thing too is, it was as far as Sasquatch go, I'll tell you, when a big male comes around, like he's gonna hit you. You're gonna know it. Now that we're really definitively aware that was a small 8-inch Sasquatch, that would have been a sound a smaller Sasquatch would have popped to you.
Right.
So, especially if he was alone, right? Very conservative, really high. He had high ground on us, big time.
It was up a hill.
Yeah, we were low ground. He was high ground. He had everything. He would have had an amazing exit point. He was in no danger. And yeah, I'm taking it up to like
And it was
30.
louder than any of the birds out there.
Yeah, and low to the ground, you know. So because judging by the distance to the height, that was like right ground level, you know. The crows were up higher, but this was no crow guy. This was no raven.
No.
The vocalization was much more pronounced, much stronger. And there was more than just the. There was. In the moment, I was like, "Damn, that was like a lot. Like that was impressive." And I was actually recording at the time. We played back the recording
Can't
and
hear
heard
it.
nothing. Like our ears picked it up loud and clear. And I had an audio device recording, like I was making a damn video. I was filming the grouse.
Yep.
We heard nothing. Like it was just inaudible. And that's the way it goes in the wilderness, guys. So
Yeah, it's the excuse you hear from everyone, but I was there for it, and that's exactly what happened.
yeah, you witnessed it. So like, if you like it, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Andy. You're amazing. Cab, you walk a week deep in the woods. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you, PI. Very grateful for your support. Hello from Pennsylvania. Darren, does the activity in the area happen more in one area this specific time, lower areas? Oh God. Like Darren, you're killing me. I don't know. Like I'm just trying to put all my information together. Like we had amazing expedition in June. Then July was good last year, so July was good this year. August sucked last year, so we'll see how August goes. And I'm actually not doing mid-August this year. I'm doing end of August to get it going properly. But I'm happy, Darren. Don't ask me such complicated questions. You're burning my head up here. I'd like to see questions for my how often do I get an expeditioner fresh out of the truck? Like I just peeled him off the seat because I don't have air conditioning. It's plus 31 Celsius, like 80 Fahrenheit, and his window doesn't open. So I peel him off the seat. He comes in the house, feed him some kombucha, get him all jacked up, and he's here today. The Rocky Boys Real is located in Bears Paw Mountain, which means I'm an American Indian also, avid hunter, tracker, and big game guide. I know what's out there. Well, hello, Russell. Nice to meet you. And Bears Paw Mountains, where is that?
I don't know.
I think that's in Montana. Anyways, send me an email, Russell. I'd love to hear from you. Bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Say, Todd asked for me on the live show. I would love to hear from you. You sound like a dude I would like to talk to. So please. Hi from Texas. Oh my God, all the Texans out here. I love Texas. Texas expedition is always amazing. Do you think Bigfoot catch fish just before winter and keep them frozen in the snow? I absolutely know that where the salmon run in British Columbia, that I've seen where the Sasquatch will take the salmon, gather them, take them up to the mountains in the permafrost where you see snow, and wrap them in sphagnum moss and leave them there. That is amazing. No species gathers food like that. So incredibly, incredibly intelligent. When's your next vlog documentary? This Sunday we'll have the little vlogs, and my documentary is going to get done in the next couple months. Bigfoot hide and seek champion of all time. I mean, what do you feel about that?
More than likely.
How well were they hide and seeking us?
I mean, I had a thermal camera with me, so I could see in everywhere, and if they were there, I didn't see them.
Yeah. So just evasive, patient. I mean, this was no rash individual that just jumps out. You know what I mean? Like this is a patient, calm. Even can you imagine if it's an 8-year-old with an 8-inch track? How many 8-year-old kids? I mean, you have a boy, are patient and calm and have serenity to be like that.
None.
You know, that's amazing. Like these guys are born.
8-year-old kid, forget it.
Yeah. You know, these guys are born patient, calm, serenity. I mean, he got close, like 5 yards from Ashley. And then Ashley reported to us the morning she heard something yell at her. She couldn't tell the direction because, in her own words, it sounded really close. Yeah, Ash, it was 5 yards away from you, unless he got closer to the damn tree break. What do you think?
Even if he was if he just made noise at that tree break, it was like 5 yards away from where she was sleeping. Amazing.
Yeah, totally amazing. Really spectacular. Gonna be, and somebody said heading to East Texas in November and go. This is along for the ride. Is the person? Please send us your information. I know people in Texas. You have good success out there. Make sure you send me an email. I got Texas boys. I talk about them. I'm surprised Logan's not here today. Gonna gonna be a better way with the dual boots on the ground. I don't know what that means. How much could Bigfoot bench press? Okay, let's ask Ross. Based on the power you saw in those tree breaks, Ross, what kind of power do you think these individuals possess?
I mean, if you're talking the 8-year-old, he could break your arm.
Yeah, but the big breaks, like
The big breaks,
the first break you saw
Yeah.
was 4 inches
yeah,
and clean.
I'd say that's something that could bench press 400 pounds easy, 400 or 500 pounds.
I think 2,000 pounds, like just like
I
literally.
might be being conservative,
Yeah, he's
because
very
that's
conservative.
still human strength.
Yeah, no, these guys,
So-
no human could break like that 4 inch tree, dude. I don't think a gorilla could break that. I don't think a gorilla could do a 3 inch break. A gorilla could bench press 2,000 pounds. I'm not even exaggerating. I wouldn't be surprised 3,000 pound bench guys. Like I've never seen this kind of power in nature. Never seen anything like it. And the precision that they do things, the movement, the way the accuracy in what they're doing, it's mind blowing to me.
Well, to get a clean break on something that big, it has to be really fast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get tears.
Yeah, an acute snap.
Yeah, and
Bang!
these snaps, everything breaks at the same time.
Yeah. So, very, very impressive stuff. And when he's talking, an 8-year-old could bust your arm easily. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I think Bigfoot, Sasquatch more than bench press. Okay, Peter says, question. They're big. They stay away from humans. What's your opinion? Are they separate species, unclassified? So they're. I call them Homo americanus. We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
They were here before the Indians.
Mhm.
That's my opinion. The Indians have been talking about them in their earliest histories.
Yeah.
So
they're bipedal.
really, they're the
hominids.
First Nation people.
Right. Sorry, not sorry, but I mean, indigenous people that have been here, they're so, God, so connected, so amazing. They survive naked, guys. They don't need technology. Got to know how amazing that is, because the Native Americans and First Nations people never did that. They used fire and spear and bows. They lived in teepees, right? To survive winters, they put clothing on. These guys are naked and they have no freaking tools. Like, who's the ultimate hominid survivor? There's no question in my mind. It's these guys. Just off my 5 acres, I already am self-sufficient. Oh, and you're just talking about food. There you go. See, and that's so Northwest Olympics is talking about how on his 5 acres, he's completely able to survive just by growing his own stuff. And there's agriculture in nature, guys. There's berries, there's plants, there's animals. Like, come on. And Fuzzy Tiger Cat next year, amazing stuff coming. Yeah, even this year, right here, right now, I got some amazing stuff coming. So, guess, did you see a Sasquatch? Breakaway Books. They can hurt big game. They must use caves high where people don't go. Absolutely. And did you see any caves high where people don't go, Ross?
Few.
Yeah. So, altitudes where people
That could
just
be
don't
caverns.
get to.
They were really high up.
Just
on sheer rock faces too.
Mhm. And did you see some mountains where you think people don't go?
Everywhere.
It's literally everywhere. Were there 360-degree mountains around us?
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah. So these peaks are untouched. Like, nobody goes up there,
You wouldn't be able to walk out of there.
Yeah. So
It'd take you 2 days to get over one of them.
yeah, that's how crazy it is. And just mountain after mountain after mountain. Just wondering if there anywhere I can find out more about your Sasquatch videos. What was the context? Why was there sharing? Well, my movie has a lot of that. I know there's a lot more. It's just really, my movie is like cut and dry and to the point. There's so much more than that. I actually have to make another movie. So right now the next movie is coming out. I don't know what's going to be named. Maybe Infinite Bigfoot, something like that. And then the one after that is going to go in detail about just gosh, I could do a whole movie about video 2 and 3, then a whole movie about video 4 and 5. Like, really, literally, guys, like, I do 90-minute production about all the failing, it was mostly failures. So much time out there, nothing's happening, nothing's going on, and just it was really hard in the beginning. And this new method, as difficult as it is for me to sit around at night and be calm and be patient and learn like I do, it's way more productive, way more effective. If I'd have taken these guys out in the backcountry and taken them over mountains and hiked the shit out of them and starved them, we probably would have had less success at the end of the day. So if I was a Bigfoot, I would get McDonald's. Okay. Todd Standing lost all his hair because a Bigfoot pulled out his hair. Well, that's actually when I had long hair, all joking aside, often, like I told these guys, the Sasquatch would come and rip a piece of hair out because orangutans and gorillas are known for this. If you have long blonde hair, you can't go in with an orangutan because he'll tear a chunk of your hair out because he just loves that long blonde look of it. So that was literally happening to me. But the rest of it is just little nature. Where are the Bigfoot hotspots in Ontario? I don't know, but I'd love to find out. It's something I'll be working on. Hi, Todd. What do you think Sasquatch eat during the winter from the UK? Meat. A lot of meat. I think they just kill meat, just eat meatsicles. And that's all I know, you know. Todd, please grow your beard back.
This guy likes your hair for some reason.
That's okay. We have them in Alaska. We heard them, but never seen one. And I agree, they're definitely got to be in Alaska. So, hello from Ecuador. Good day, sir. We're just gonna finish the show up in a few minutes. Saw one in Tumbler Ridge. Have a pic of a footprint. Well, this is so what do you call this? Sword Fen Woodworks.
Yeah.
Cool. Please, Bigfoot
Sword
encounter.
Fern.
Sword Fern. Bigfoot encounter at gmail.com. Please send us a message. Can you explain the boom topic you speak of? Well, I showed him. Let's ask him. You saw the 17-inch track. Tell us about what you saw.
It was very compressed earth. Like something really, really heavy stepped in that spot and left a pretty permanent, semi-permanent impression in the ground.
It was last year.
Yeah, and I stepped in it, and you can feel the parts of the foot. You can feel the heel go down, and you can feel just in front of the toes, and you can feel every little toe in the hole. They're all there.
Yeah.
The push off, where the toe tears in more than the heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a bunch of things going on with that that it wasn't just you out there with a plaster cast with a 200-pound weight. You know?
No. And so let me ask you this. Imagine, is it far-fetched to assume that the individual, the Sasquatch that did that, when he made that, there was a boom. Can you imagine that was heard?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what specifically happened was I was on an expedition with Jason Shute, who's amazing, just him and I alone, and nothing happened but the boom. And I gave a little superficial look, didn't find anything. Then I went out with Texas and Red Deer, and we found that print in a, like, man. And I'll tell you, Ross, imagine you're at the campfire and you hear a boom over that hill. Boom.
Right.
Come over that hill. Where would you know to look?
You don't.
You know, like, especially something like that. But we scoured the earth. Like, we just looked. I took those two boys, and it wasn't even me that found it. That's another thing, is Red Deer found that damn thing. Like, that's what's so amazing, is we span out, and I've done it with these guys even. Like, you train these guys. They have attention to detail. They learn their breaks. They learn their tracks. They're going to pick up stuff that's obvious. And these expeditions are just incredible. I mean, you can see I learned stuff from Australia. You know, I learned stuff from you. You know, like the attention to detail that you have, that I need to know in the future, that people that have jobs that have extreme attention to detail are going to be great trackers, right? So
theoretically,
yeah. So, you know, or maybe not, but it's something that I've learned.
Spooked by everything that's around you, I guess.
Hey, another problem, right? And look how calm Australia was. Man, that dude was just calm. He loved it. He loves. Tell me he doesn't love the animals in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, this guy treasures animals. He comes out here loving nature, you know, picking berries as much as we do. And it was an incredible experience. Just amazing people. So thanks so much for the donation, whoever did it. That donation is greatly appreciated. It goes to the this platform that we're grateful for. If you want to make a donation specifically to me, go to discoveringbigfoot.org. All the donations. This is what do you believe this is all I do? You're at my house.
He's not organized enough to fake this stuff, guys.
And we had some stuff happen.
Yeah, no, he's. You know. It's too elaborate to dupe three people, because Ashley came out, and Ashley was a skeptic and experienced things on her own, and I asked Ashley off to the side, like, so what's going on? Do you think he's bull? And she was like, no, because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, and Ashley's very, very no BS, straightforward.
You don't.
It is what it is.
Yeah, she tells it like it is. Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
So even she'll have stuff that's going on, and she'll keep her mouth shut. So she's not expressive enough. She holds back. She withholds until something profound happens. But I mean, you're at my house. You met my children. My mom made you lemon cake. My sister made you squash. You know what I mean?
It's highly personal what he's doing. It's not it's not a cookie cutter kind of thing where he picks you up from the airport
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to your hotel and then you go straight from the hotel
Mm-hmm.
to the research area and then everything's scheduled out. That's not how it works at all.
No.
It's there. Nobody really pays attention to time for the most part.
That's right.
It is, everything is what it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be what it is. And, you know, if he's faking it, then, I mean, we were out there with these electrical bikes and he was struggling for 20 minutes to look for a wrench that we found. He fixed the bike, left it on the ground and rode off.
Well, there's so many things that I'm doing. Like, I got to keep these guys safe.
He's too distracted.
There's bears all over the place. You know, I'm guiding these people. I'm paying attention to their bikes. I'm watching what gear they're in. I'm making sure the seats are tight and the handlebars aren't jiggling. And there's just so much going. And then when we go into that particular area, I can't have a gun. So I got to be extra cautious because we're out there like that's naked. I don't like.
We were riding bikes and. We're riding bikes. We hit an open area that's it's daisies, surrounded by pines and firs, and we're all rolling up, and something in the bushes really starts shaking like crazy, and all of us stopped, got off the bikes, and me and Adam, the Aussie, we talked to each other. We were hoping it was a Sasquatch because it was loud noise, and we see a baby black bear jump into the tree. Mm-hmm. But we knew that he's jumping in the tree to get safe. We don't even know where the mom is, but we know she's close by. We had to turn around and get out of Dodge.
Yeah. We
were within 20 yards, potentially, of having a female black bear come at us full bore for being in the wrong spot.
And that's a bad day, ladies and gentlemen, man. You get a sow charging at you 20 yards away. She literally decided to let us go. Like, if she came charging over that ridge, man, it would have been a goddamn nightmare. But
she could have charged immediately. As soon as he hit the tree, she could have run at us.
Yeah.
It was easily. really, really close.
Yeah. She held her ground. We backed away. We adhere to the rules. We don't mess with nature. I don't want to harm these animals. I mean, when we're doing stuff with bears, it's a very safe distance. We're in a truck. I can close the door. Like, we're not even outside the truck. I can close the doors and pin it and get away.
Well, we're leaving today, and this cinnamon black bear came up on the road. We had to stop the truck or we were going to hit him.
Yeah.
And then he just looked at us.
Yeah.
And then backed into the bush and kept eating.
Yeah. Until we startled him a little bit.
Yeah. And then he turned into Velcro against a tree.
Boink!
It was really funny.
170-pound black bear, Cinnamon, gets a little spooked and
he was glued to that tree. It was
boing in the tree.
It looked like slapstick comedy, like some Buster Keaton stuff, because he just was fine, and then he was 3 feet up the tree before you even was like, and he was just there.
And you don't want that jumping on you because he'll Velcro to you and you won't survive. So, yeah. And did you feel safe
in the truck?
Yeah, you were safe.
Yeah.
So we were always kept safe. So
we almost ran into a 4-point
beautiful buck, man. That was hilarious.
Riding down the path, and we got too close for comfort for that guy, and he sprang out, and he sprang out of the bushes 10 yards away from us.
Yeah.
And he was easily 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And he looked at us for a good, from 20 yards away, he looked at us for a good 15, 20 seconds and didn't make a move.
Yeah. Which at that time I could have drawn a gun.
And it was for any hunters out there,
yeah,
it was the easiest double lung you'd ever get in your whole life.
Double lung heart, have a good day.
You'd have dropped him right there on the spot, and he wouldn't have run. You'd have a buck in 20 yards.
Yeah. So.
And that was just riding bikes around there.
Yeah.
We saw 4 deer, 5 deer,
yeah,
multiple bucks.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, nice and close, but lots of wildlife, excellent Sasquatch habitat, lots of Sasquatch evidence, especially with the breaks and the tracks that we found. So amazing stuff. I had an absolutely wonderful expedition. Your thoughts closing on the expedition this last week?
Well, emailed you and told you I believed and I want to know, and I feel like I'm much closer to knowing. I'm very, very close. I need to see. I want to see one.
Yeah.
I want to see a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But as far as the circumstantial evidence surrounding the mystique of them, it was all there. We got everything except for a sighting while we were there.
Yeah. I'm so proud of this guy. About, like, at night it's dark. I look at his eyes and the fire is going out. It's pitch black and he knows there's bears and mountain lions and wildlife all over the place. And he's calm. He's relaxed. You know, he had serenity out there. That's very rare for a city boy like that. But yeah, I think there were so many lessons. I think we got exactly what we needed to start this relationship.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and it was teamwork. It was, you know, even with Adam, it was amazing. And that's why I just have such a wonderful job. I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher, educating people, teaching people, getting out there, boots on the ground, working for this discovery. Are you going to be, now, even this? So we know we're talking about blimp drones, thermal blimp drones. Man, if I had a thermal blimp drone 40 yards above the trailer, do you think we'd be here, or do you think we'd be on CNN? You know what I mean?
I think we'd have people mocking us because you had incredible new footage.
But don't take my word for it. Come out with me and we'll see what happens. Man took me up on the challenge like so many people have before and had a wonderful, incredible experience. So happy about it. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Thanks to this young man right here. We had such a wonderful time.
It was fun.
So I have a lot of years left in me, guys. And I'm super stoked about all the new connections, all the new people I'm meeting. Expeditions are going fantastic. I know some of you can't do expeditions. I love your support. Just watching the YouTube videos and talking about this and even wishing us well, because this discovery is coming. I'm going to get those drones, brother. I'm going to make this stuff happen. If I have to put a goddamn balloon up there and borrow thermal cameras from Survivor, man, I'm going to make this stuff happen. It's got to come together. We're going to make this discovery, and it's going to blow your mind. This is not some discovery that's going to keep going on and on like it has been for 50 years as Patterson footage and blah, blah, blah. It's coming to an end, and we're very, very close. I'll be this surprised when it happens, when we get it finished, when we lock it up, when we get what we need. So be here next Wednesday and stay tuned for Sasquatch Sunday. We got podcasts on Saturday. We got Caitlin on Tuesday nights. Thank you very much for tuning in. You got us for a whole hour, so it was great. Again, thanks, brother, and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.